Welcome to week 4 of your G Suite video tutorial. This is our second week working in spreadsheets, and as you can see, we're back here with our lovely highest and lowest movies. We're going to be working with this spreadsheet through this week and next week, and we're going to do a bunch of different things to kind of help manipulate and read our data. So this week is all about formulas, functions, and conditional formatting. Formulas and functions they basically operate in the same sort of world. They do the same thing, but the difference between formulas and functions is how you get to your answer. Functions are formulas that Google has already put together and kind of given a handy name and given you a shortcut. So let's say that I wanted to add up all of these total grosses of these billion-dollar movies and see what the total gross is for everything. Now I could sit and I could either sit with my calculator and add all of these up, which may, be incorrect because of human error, or, maybe my finger hits the wrong key. I could also create a formula where I type in all of these amounts and put the answer at the bottom. But again, I could mistype, I could skip one, I could, get distracted, or I could use the sum function. The sum function is something Google has already set up for you. It adds up the figures in a range of cells, and it does it really quickly and easily. It's a pretty fantastic little tool. It's also the most common in spreadsheets, so I'm going to show you how to use this now. You're going to click the cell where you would like the answer to your function to be. So I would like my total to be down here. I'm going to come up here and press Insert, go down to Function, and I'm going to click Sum. You'll see right here that this bar, this formula and function bar, has been populated. Anytime you handwrite a formula or a function into this bar, you need to start with an equal sign, then you write your function, and then here in the parentheses is where you're going to put your range of cells. The nice thing about Google Sheets and Excel as well is that you could actually click and drag your range of cells, and it'll auto-populate what you want to add up. So right there, right below my mouse, you can see in yellow that it's already put B2 to B26. That's the range I selected. Notice, in case you have to hand type one out, that there's a colon between the B2 and the B26. So I let go of my mouse, and I'm going to press Enter. Whoops, it lost my range. Let's try that again. Okay, let go of my mouse, press Enter, and there's my total amount, 30. So there you can see the sum. Let's try a different formula. Let's get rid of this one. So you can either click it out of your cell, your answer cell, or you can come up to the formula bar and delete it there. Let's try averaging those out. I wonder what the average total gross is. I'm going to go here, I'm going to click average. I'm going to, again, copy my range of cells and press Enter. And you can see that the function averaged out those answers for me. They added them all up and then divided them by 25. So that's pretty fantastic. Simple, easy, and quick. A formula is actually going to do the same thing, except that you don't get to have the handy dandy tricks that do it for you. So let me kind of show you. With a formula, you are always going to start with an equal sign, just like with your sum or with your function, but now you're just not going to put a function in. You're going to write out exactly what you want it to do. So let's say that I wanted to subtract $100 from the first cell, from the first total gross, so B2. So I'm going to write equals in my parentheses B2 minus 100. And I'm going to close my parentheses, press Enter, and there you can see it's subtracted 100 from my amount. Now, it's possible that I could do this. I could do a sum. You can add a function into a formula, but you're still kind of building it yourself. So equals, let's do sum of, let's do B2, and I can still click and drag here, which is nice, to B5, so Jurassic World. But then I want to do that range of cells minus 1,000,000. Let's see what we get. Don't forget, like I did, to close off your cell and then press Enter. Now there you can see I mess something up. The nice thing about Google Sheets and also Microsoft Excel is that if you have a formula and it doesn't understand what you want it to do, maybe you didn't, maybe you, like me, you'd closed off the wrong range, or you didn't write your numbers correctly. Let's see if I can fix this real quick. There we go. That's what I should have done. I shouldn't have put commas in there. It's an old school habit. When I do that, the formula, the error goes away, and there's the answer. So formulas and functions are both basically working together to get you some sort of data that you can use. Whether you're using it for business or personal, you probably have an intent and something that you want to see in your data. And that's the nice thing about using formulas and functions, because it helps you do that. We're going to look at a couple little cool tricks that Google has. Microsoft Excel has them as well. Google was the first to put them in, so it's kind of fun to brag about Google because they were really clever in some of the things that they do. So I'm going to show you right here. Let's say that we are wanting to convert this dollar amount into pesos. So we've got US dollars here. We want to convert it into pesos. You can actually find out what the current real-time currency exchange rate is using an import to a Google Finance function. So we're going to click here. We're going to write a formula. We're going to do enter Google Finance, and right here you can see that it's saying, hey, we're going to put this in. We're going to query Google Finance and get some information for you. We want to specifically know about currency. Google Finance has information about pretty much anything related to money that you want. Stocks, bonds, commodities. We're going to keep it pretty simple. So we're going to do currency, and we're going to use the country code for US dollars, which is USD. Notice I'm closing those off with little carets. You have to have those to be able to switch that out. Mexican peso is MXN. We're going to finish it with quotations, double quotes, and a parentheses. That's pretty picky on your syntax. So if you get an error message like I might right now, double check your parentheses, your quotations, all the little things. You could even search for this particular function on Google and copy and paste it. It's probably easier than typing it out. But that, doesn't look like it worked. Let's see what I did wrong. And here it's telling me that nothing that I had in there is working out. I would guess, I know what I did. Sorry. I was showing you the example with the little extra parentheses because I wanted to show you first currency, second currency. I apologize. It should be like this. There should be no little carets. There we go. So currently the exchange rate going from dollars to pesos is 18.9865. That means that it takes 18 pesos to make a dollar. So now we have, let's type in total gross in pesos. We're going to create a little formula right below it that's using our exchange rate to find out how many pesos this amount of money is. So we're going to come up here. We're going to press enter. We're going to use our cell B3 times the value, and times here is you're going to press shift and 8. That little asterisk or that little star is your times symbol in Google Sheets, and then you're going to type in D. That's D2, and you're going to press enter. So now we have total gross in pesos is $41.5 billion. Lots and lots of pesos. The last thing that we're going to do is apply conditional formatting to this spreadsheet. Conditional formatting is kind of a visual way to assign colors to things that are either important because they're very high or very low, or because they have certain information in them, or they're missing certain information. It's just kind of a way for you to look at a large amount of data and have your eyes drawn to important things. I used to use it as an instructor a lot for students that I would set a conditional formatting to see if a student had turned in a discussion board. If I didn't have a mark for them, or if it was late, it would turn a certain color. If that was missing, it would turn a different color. If their grades were trending high, my conditional formatting would show that. If their grades were very low and I needed to get in contact with them, my conditional formatting could let me see that. So let's do this. We're going to create conditional formatting by we're going to first click our full range of all the cells. So we're turning everything blue so that our conditional formatting knows it's going to deal with all of it. We're going to go down here to conditional formatting and we're going to set a rule. So here you can see that it's saying we're going to apply to the range of all the cells in the spreadsheet. You can modify this to only deal with some of the cells in your spreadsheet and it'll change the blue. We're going to take it, let's make it C26. Okay, so now we've got the main part of our spreadsheet. So right now it says format the cells if this cell is not empty. That means if there's something typed into it, it's going to turn it this kind of bluey green color. But we don't want that because that doesn't give us any information. So why don't we try instead, we're going to talk about the release year. And let's see how many movies that are top grossers were made before 2005. So we're going to go to date is before, and we're going to click on exact date, and let's do January 1st, 2005. That means anything from December 31st, 2004 and back is going to be taken care of. Let's actually just do the year since it doesn't have months there. There we go. And we're going to turn those kind of a red. So now we see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 movies that were made before 2005 that are part of the highest grossing films of all time. Let's go over to our lowest grossing films and let's apply some conditional formatting and let's see if we can get it to say, let's find any film that has a budget that's bigger than $120,000. So we're going to go to greater than or equal to because we want it to be 120,000 or more. Not 120,000, 120 million, sorry. And we're going to turn that yellow. So there you see. Now, this actually is also taking into account opening weekend sales, which is not what we really want. So let's fix our range to only go to C26. That'll leave out the sales and only include the budgets. And now we see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 huge budget movies, really bad results. For this week's assignment is how to sort data. Sorting data organizes your data just kind of like how I showed you with Google Drive, except that you're going to be doing it with ranges of data. So let's click all of our data on the highest grossing page, and we're going to go to the Data tab and click Sort Range. Now, we can sort this by all of the different columns, or it gives you a choice. So you can sort it by column A, column B, column D, and column C. Now, you'll notice that right now it's only giving you a choice of whether to sort it alphabetically or reverse alphabetically. So let's sort it from highest to lowest, or from A to Z. And you'll see here it switched from being the highest gross to the lowest gross. Now you'll also notice that our headers got stuck in the middle. So let's undo that and I'll show you how to fix that. You can either just select the data and leave the headers out, or you can select all the data like I did before. Go to sort range. See where it says data has header row? Click that. And then it kind of excludes the data row. So now we can sort the movie titles A to Z, but the headers are still there. Last but not least, we're going to talk about publishing your slides. Publishing a slide is a little bit of a different case than publishing or sharing docs because it actually puts the information on the internet for other people to see, and you can choose a variety of ways to publish it. So just like with your doc, you're going to click File, Publish to the Web, and you've got two choices. You can either create a link or you can embed this into another website. Now we don't have another website to put it in, so we're going to create a link. Here you see you have two choices. You can either publish the entire document with both of the spreadsheets in your workbook, or you can just choose to do one or the other. You can also decide whether you want to publish it as a web page, meaning it looks like a web page, it's made out of HTML. You can save it as a Microsoft Excel file, which means if you click on the link, it's going to download to your hard drive. PDF, same thing. Or you can save it as comma separated values and tab separated values, which are just basically a bunch of text. We're going to save it as a web page. We're going to click Publish. It asks us, are we sure? And that's a good thing because this is the internet and you're putting it out there for anybody on the internet to find. We're going to click OK because we don't have any personal information to worry about. We're going to highlight and go to this link to check it out. And there is our spreadsheet, but it looks like a website now, which is pretty cool. So you can still flip between those two tabs. It's still showing your conditional formatting. It looks pretty great. So now you're able to use functions and formulas with your data. You're able to sort your data. You can conditionally format it. You can do a lot of things that are going to really help your data have some meaning behind it and some organization. And that's kind of where spreadsheets become a lot more useful than tables, because you're able to work with the data rather than just viewing it. If you have any other questions about your week 4 assignment or your week 4 content, please check your G Suite documentation or talk to your instructor or your student advisor.